All right, let's give the other stream here a second to get caught up. We still got about 5 minutes until the close. All right, so we'll see exactly where we end up on the Qs and SPY, but let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for May 5th, 2022. Qs down 5.3%. SPY down 3.83. We talked about how we got that Fed rally yesterday, and it was enough for me to no longer be bearish. But we had to get another setup of some kind before we're going to turn bullish. And that if we just took out yesterday's low, then we will be back to all out bearish. And so what did we do? We sold off and we took out the lows. I also showed us or looked at a chart from February where we previously had a move up from a FOMC event, and then we gapped underneath and then broke down. So echoes of that, but not exactly the same. This is definitely different. Much bigger move yesterday, and then the gap not quite through right to yesterday's low. And I think a lot of that is just because, it was already I think it was like about a 1% gap, and it was because it was such a big move yesterday on that rally. So we negated that move. I mean, we say this every FOMC, right? Especially on rate decision days. There's the move that gets made on the day of the announcement, the afternoon of the announcement, and then does it hold into the next day, right? That's always the question. Whether it's a sell-off or market gets bought, will that move just get negated the very next morning? And we've seen that happen, right, quite often. So that was the question, and we did see, that move has now been erased with today's sell-off. All right, going into tomorrow, then gonna be bearish, okay, on the Qs and SPY. We may get a little bit of a bounce first, just because it's a pretty wide range red bar that we got today on the Qs and SPY. So we may see a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a counter move. Qs though, definitely back to the lows there. Let's take a look at the IWM, kind of somewhere in between the Qs and the SPY. Okay, so bearish for tomorrow. Now, this morning, I think it took a little bit for me to get going. We had a lot of gap downs, and a lot of them weren't going with the market. And so then the question became, I think pretty early on in the morning, was when do we bounce? Are we going to bounce? And that was, I think, maybe one of the tougher things. I imagine a lot of people didn't want to play this NYT with me. Okay, this was an official call. Gave you plenty of time to play it. Didn't want to play this NYT with me, which triggered, I think, around 10 o'clock, because the Qs were down so much. And I think that's fine. I'm not saying, you should not think for yourself whenever you're in the room and you see plays called, right? And that was a challenge. I mean, look, right? If the market had bounced, maybe the NYT would not have worked, right? Okay. So this, you can see, this is what the market looked like at 10 o'clock. But here's the thing, why I still played the NYT, okay? If I'm playing something, I'm expecting that it's to some degree on its own page, okay? That, yes, the market may bounce first, and this may bounce a little bit with it, but if the thing that I'm playing, especially with the kind of reward to risk that I thought that this had, I thought, it still needed to be played. Okay, so that's mainly it. Is that okay? The thing that I'm playing, it gapped, it reported earnings, it's moving, it's got volume, above average volume. Let's play it. I mean, and then what if the market continues, which is what happened today, right? Then all right, let's ride this thing out until the end of the day, right? Which is pretty much what we did. Eventually did trail, kind of just tagged me out there on the hourly a little bit, so. Would have been nice to still be in it here, as it's probably going to make new lows before the end, but you can see it kind of popped and tagged us out there on the last piece on the NYT there, over 22. So nice play here. So this is what I liked about it. Not only is the daily nice, breaking down, look at the weekly. How much, breaking down on the weekly too. You got to go way back to the left to try and find some overlap here. Okay. And so that's what I liked. I thought, you know what, let's get this. Let's try to be in it all day. If the market takes us all the way to target, all the better. Now, like I said, it was hard also to, get too aggressive with the shorts because, the market stayed kind of in that downtrend. It didn't give us a nice sell setup to work with. So probably the biggest play that I passed on would be the BCAB. That worked for about 4 hours there. Again, a really nice gap down. Really nice, clearing support. This is at all-time lows, so cleared of all support. Really, really nice on the BCAB. And then INSG, very similar type of gap, cleared the support, but this one didn't quite set up quite as well. Yeah, there's a little bit of a sell set up there, but that's about it. So, yeah, so that was today. I don't think it was, the easiest, especially we see the market here getting a little bit of a bounce. So Qs are going to end up down 5% and SPY down 3.55. Okay, but that doesn't change anything. We're still going to be bearish going into tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, market's moving a lot, and that is not typically what we want during earnings season. Now, we'll make do, right? We'll do the best that we can with what we got. And I think if you played the NYT with me, it was nice. I mean, get it in the morning and just let it do its thing. But yeah, with the market moving so much, I mean, a lot of the longs didn't matter how good the gap up was. There were a bunch of them, and not a bunch that were good, but there were some decent ones. I thought ICPT was a decent gap up. But they're gonna have trouble moving. They're gonna have trouble getting going with the market staying as weak as it was today. So with the market with as much volatility as it has, it ends up playing a bigger part. We typically like, a more sideways market during earnings season. It's easier to figure out where the momentum is and things stand out a little bit better. And market has less of an impact on stalling things or keeping things from getting to target or even causing reversals. So, but it is what it is. I think we did fine today. I think there was a lot to look at. So really the thing is to stay focused. It's on, what is really kind of worth playing and is what's good, because there's just so many gaps and so many possible plays, and even some of the low quality plays will work. That's always the case. But hopefully you're doing well. And then, with the management and everything, that's been solid here, because if you're still trying to figure out management and earnings season with all the things going on and different plays out there, it can really kind of get you spun around. Okay, all right, hope you did well today. We will be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.